What up, YouTube? What up, YouTube? What up, YouTube? What up, YouTube? This your boy No Filter right here, man. Um, I'm hitting you guys again, with the stream today. I'm fucking free as hell today, so I decided to get this shit out the way. Basically, fuck screen will play back. What up, YouTube? This your boy No Filter right here, and you guys again today in another video. Started stream today, and today's topic is a very topic. I just got done talking to Johnny Midnight a couple minutes ago. This topic just came to my head, so I was like, "Fuck this shit." I'm gonna fuck this shit. I'm just gonna whatever. Like fuck this shit. Like whatever. I'm just gonna put this topic. So today's topic is called. The name of this topic is called "Kids Fuck That." And today's topic is it was a topic that me and Johnny Midnight just got done talking a minute ago. It was a very important topic. I'm talking about kids, and the reason I'm bringing this topic up because I was talking to an older guy. I won't say I look up to, but me and him had we kind of share the same outlook on life. This older cat. I'm not gonna say what race he is, because this is my chance to know my race. But he was like what 40 years old, no wife, no kid, none of that stuff. Great career, whatever. House paid off, car paid off. He made real good money. He does really good for himself. And me and him was talking about life, and he's 40 years old. And he was telling me about. I was asking him like he's 40. He just turned 40, and he was telling me about like how he's so fucking happy. He don't have wife and kid and all this crazy shit. And I can't say the guy really MGTOW because he doesn't identify MGTOW. I don't speak MGTOW outside of the community that we live in. But me and him was talking. Me and him literally was talking about this, and it was something I did. It was something we was talking about, and it was something differently. And it was asking me. I was telling him why he chose not to have kids, and he was talking about the shit he grew up and how he grew up. His mom was how he grew up. His dad was never really around, and he grew up not knowing his father, and how his mom treated him like shit. And how that point for me is that he see a lot of kids go on, and he's like how his mother treated him like shit, like dirt, whatever, and how he don't have the best relationship with his mom. And so basically he told me, he was like, plus having kids nowadays in this society now is kind of fucked up. And the reason I'm bringing this topic up is because shout out to my brother Johnny Midnight. I don't know, he probably not watching the stream, but me and him was talking about kids. And the reason why I think this topic is interesting because especially me, out of all my dad kids, from my sister to my three brothers, that's it. I'm just gonna say that, not talk myself. They got kids, I don't. And the reason why I don't want kids is because I got a lot of mental problems. Like I think back to my oh yeah, y'all guys know about me. I'm pretty sure you guys know about me now. But I grew up in a two-parent household. Mom and dad. Mom's still living. Dad's no longer here. But I had a lot of mental problems coming up. Growing up in special ed from the 4th to 12th grade, all this other crazy shit, and growing up in it. Literally growing up in literally growing up. Literally growing up, I had a lot of mind mental problems, special ed, all this other, my traumatic past I went through, experienced in life. And when I'm in school, when had a lot of mind mental problems, I was not the best student. I knew at that moment, at that point in time, I didn't want no kids. Now, when I was a blue pill, because when I was a kid and when I was a preteen, I was a blue pill guy. I wanted wife and kid time, and even when I was like 21, I wanted wife and kid. But I think back to my point when basically I wanted kids, and then shit happens, life happens. I lose my dad from colon cancer. I didn't get a chance to go to his funeral. I'm gonna open up about that a lot more too. I didn't get a chance to go to his funeral. I had a lot of demons I buried. I was angry. I was frustrated. I had a lot of mind mental problems. Got kicked out of my senior high school. I had a grade point average of 1.6. And had a lot of mind mental problems. I spent more time at home for my senior high school than at school. I was coming on. I still got mind mental problems to this day. I suffer from major depression. As you guys know, that's my diagnosis I live with. Major depression. And yeah, I take major depression. I take Seroquel, all these medicines, what I need to do to keep voices out of my head. I got a lot of mind problems, and I think I want to discuss this topic a lot more. And I did put the link to the stream so you guys can join into discussion if you want it. I think this stream is more important because I think when it comes to talking about kids, I think that we really need to talk about this discussion, because I think that kids nowadays, the reason why I'm talking about this topic, because to me, I think having kids nowadays in this political climate where so many boys, so many men are cut nowadays, where masculine. It's attack on masculinity. You got rompers, you got man purses, you got men wearing suspect ass female clothing and shit like that. Like it's so much suspect shit going on, and masculinity is always under attack. One moment they wants to be alpha, next moment they want to be beta. All this other shit that goes on. Society want us men to just be cut. And to me, what I choose not to do, and this is me 100% being honest with the critic, is I choose not to engage in that type of stuff. But the reason why I want this topic to be discussed, and I think that this is a good discussion to have amongst fellow MGTOWs out there, that we get caught up in this, what you call it, we get caught up in this thing of we got to have kids and this and that. And I want men to realize that, yo, having a political climate, and the reason I want to have this topic discussed too as well, because we get so caught up in this moment of having kids. But here's the thing. One thing I learned about my problems and me, especially me coming from a two-parent household, me coming from a middle-class neighborhood, especially me growing up, I won't say call it the hood, but I kind of grew up in the neighborhood, but it was not rough. And growing up in the neighborhood, literally growing up in the neighborhood where people often frown upon overall, like, you know, whatever. And this whole idea that, you know, this whole idea shit, call it, this whole idea of this whole idea of shit. Fuck, I write some shit down, people. This whole idea of come on, fucking screen shit, black as fuck. But the whole screen, the whole that coming from this idea, this whole idea that we gotta have kids, and it's part of society nowadays to have kids. It's not a guarantee you have it. And I think back to my situation, me being raised by two parents, and how I had a lot of mental problems going into it. But I see so many men when they have kids, they go into, oh, my kid gonna be special. I'm saving this money for college fund, or they about to have a son. My son's gonna go to college. And the reason why I say fuck having kids nowadays in this political climate, especially about to have a son, like I think to myself right now, I turned 29 and shit. The older you get, the more I start to think to myself, fuck that shit. I don't want no parts of no having kids. And I think that society nowadays encourage men to go out there and tell men, oh, yo, go out there and have kids. This is normal for what it is. And what ended up happening is, you know, what's really happening is that, you know, basically overall, like people nowadays, everybody, you know, whatever, you know, basically, I'm saying, like, to me in general, it's a negative thing. And basically so much shit going on with mental retardation, these kids being born with ADHD, mental disorders, mentally retarded, you know. It's so much shit going on, and to say today's society nowadays, especially if you're about to have a son, to me, I would not want to have a son in this political climate nowadays, because in this climate where so many men are cucked, where we are told to take our balls, take our balls, take our penis, take our junk, and stick it between the middle of our legs and just be men, and just not tell it to just be pussy-fied men, show emotion, cry, do all this feminine emasculation bullshit. And what ended up happening is, to me in general, as a man, if you genuinely care about raising men, why would you want to raise a son in this political climate where divorce courts is fucking against me? But basically, your son, even if you decide to have a son, he goes to college, and that guy said you got a guy and a girl, they choose to fuck and they choose to have a kid. A woman can withdraw her consent. You got yes me just in California. There's so much shit going on in the world today where so many men choose not to fucking. So many men choose not to. You know, so many men choose to fucking have kids, and I don't know why. And I would like to hear you guys' opinion on the subject, because to me, I think that this is a good discussion to have. I think that we really need to have the discussion about kids. Is it, you know, would you want to have a kid in this climate? You know, explain to me. I mean, would you want to have a kid? Would you want to raise a kid in this climate? And I think that we live in so much of a world today where, you know, it's like nowadays being a man nowadays, we're punished for being a man nowadays. And I want men to understand that, especially young guys out there who choose to have kids. Yo, it's not a guaranteed promise. I mean, you see so many parents talk about, you know, Oh, you know, before the baby is born, before a baby is born, whether it's a boy or girl, oh, my kid's gonna be the brightest thing in the world. This kid gonna be smart. My kid's gonna do this. My kid's gonna do that. My kid's gonna take on the world. My kid's gonna do this. My kid's gonna do that. My kid is gonna, you know, dominate the world. He's gonna be the smartest person in the room. But what happens when that kid get HDHD? What happens when that kid become mentally retarded, or that kid is, you know, whatever, basically he has a mental deformity, he has a disorder. What happens when he has a lifetime he has a heart condition? What happens when that kid brain capacity where he can't think? What happens if you put in special ed? I mean, there's a lot of things you got to go into when you choose to have kids in the type of climate nowadays. Where if you want to raise a kid in this climate nowadays and you choose to have a kid, when I say fuck that shit, now I think back to my time where I often ask myself, why the fuck do I want to have a kid? But when I guess because I was blueprint, I guess it was all blueprint at one time that we choose to at one point. People want to fucking have this idea when it comes to raising kids is, okay, we got to have this kid in this political climate. And, you know, for me, in Renaissance, I agree 100%, fam. Like, you know, my thing was but I kind of think back to when I was 20, when I was like 20, 21, I wanted kids. I don't know why the fuck I wanted them. I just wanted them. I don't know what it was, maybe because society told me to. But when I got older, man, and when you get older, when I literally got older, I often ask myself, why the fuck did I want kids? You know, and I think we all at one time, we all at one time contemplated a choice whether to choose to have kids or not. And I think a lot of the times we choose not to. You know, I think a lot of times people choose, you know, for me, I think people choose to have kids because they feel like, especially men nowadays, are told, oh, you want a legacy. But to me, in general, dude, like, what happens when your legacy fucking hates you? What if you pay child support and the mother, you know, the mother's using the kid as a pawn, and then the kid grow up fucking hating you? Like, I would hate to have a kid with a woman, and then the kid, I'm raising them, I'm paying my child support, whatever, and then the kid turns 18 years old and you trying to have a relationship with the kid, and the kid says fuck off to you because you're a piece of shit. And the mother she told the kid, the son, the girl, the boy, the girl, all this hate for you, talking about how you was a sack of shit, you never wanted to be there for them. And the thing is, man, when you raising a kid in this climate nowadays, it's so fucking dangerous, man. It's a dangerous mindset to fucking have. So it's a dangerous mindset to have, because people nowadays get so caught up in this mentality and this mindset of what the fuck just happened, and people just want to get caught up in this whole idea that this is crazy, you know. And what, you know, what's most interesting, what's really interesting though, what's really interesting about this topic is because I want to hear you guys take on it, so you guys can join the stream. I left the link to the stream. I left the link to, you guys can join anytime you want to, join into discussion anytime you want to. But I want to hear you guys discussion on it because I feel like this topic is a very sensitive topic, especially for these traditionalists, the Prager University, these 1950s traditionalist assholes, conservatives who are so traditionalist to the point where they don't care about men's issues, they don't care about men's nothing. They don't care about our issues. They don't care about what we go through. They don't care about what we the plight, the struggle with men. They don't care about what we go through as human beings. And I literally want to discuss this topic because, to me, because this topic, just me having this topic with Johnny Midnight, me and discussion off air, it was a good discussion to have. I was like, well, I got this thing back on my brain now, so I'm gonna discuss it now. But you guys can join the discussion, man, because I feel like this topic, why I think this topic is interesting to talk about, because do you want a kid? If you choose to have a kid, and I think, to me, the reason why I don't want kids is because I got my own problems the world should deal with. And I think about, if I had a wife or girlfriend, and if I had a baby in the process, I could not be the man I am today. I could not be the person I am today, where I'm focused on me and my writing, because it would be really about making her happy and all those other things. And I want society to really appreciate thus. And I think a lot of the time, especially being a man nowadays, where people nowadays often frown upon a man choosing not to be single. And if you choose not to have kids, do that make you a selfish person? I mean, these are questions that society often gonna say to me. And the reason why I'm glad I'm doing this topic too, because I was having a conversation with with one of my female cousins, and she was telling me, she was like, well, your sister, your sister have a kid, your three brothers have kids. Don't you want kids no filter? Don't you want kids no filter? Don't you want kids no filter? And I say, I told her no. And I'm like, no, because I got my own problems to deal with. And I think when you have kids nowadays, it's bad enough. It's bad enough. We have what the fuck you call it? It's bad enough. It's bad enough. It's bad enough we have, society constantly telling us what it is to be a man and go out there have a family. But dude, like, why would you want to have a kid in this type of climate? It's like your male authority is stripped away from the household, especially in the marriage, especially in marriages nowadays, where men cannot even fucking be fathers, be the parents they want to be towards their kids. So why would you want to raise a kid in this climate where knowing 9 times out of 10 your kid can either be fucked up, hate you, or your kid can have a type of disorder where you have to live there? What happens? What happens if you have a kid and that kid had Down syndrome? You gotta live with that kid for the rest of your fucking life. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take care of this kid for the rest of your life, and you gotta pretend like you love this kid. And it's like that's what I'm talking about. And even if you have, say, if you have a billionaire, right? You have a billionaire and a wife. This guy got all the money in the world. He raised his kid, and his kid got Down syndrome. Even though you're a billionaire and you got all the money in the world, you got to raise this kid for the rest of your fucking life from 18 years old. What happens if you got a kid and that kid cannot learn and function well, and he can't learn like a normal student, right? He has to be put in he has to be put in a special setting to learn, right? Here's the thing. I'm not saying that kid's impossible for learning, but I'm saying overall, like, this is the danger that we put ourselves into. This is the situation we find ourselves in. That to me is that my sister for me is that, dude, the problem with America nowadays, we have to understand that it's very, you know what I'm saying, it's so scary to have a kid in this type of climate nowadays, where nowadays, like, you're punished for being a man, or you have a son and your son is so cucked nowadays where they tell him, take your balls and stick it between your legs and just be a pussy, and just like so much. You got rappers wearing certain things. You got, it's so much shit going on with men masculinity society, always trying to tell men it's okay to cry, it's okay to do this and that. It's so much feminization of men nowadays that I would not even want to have a son nowadays. To me, fuck that. I don't even want to have no damn daughter nowadays, because daughters nowadays are other wild. Like, what if you decide to have a daughter? You know what I'm saying? Your daughter go out there and she decides to go out there and fuck, and she decides to be this rebellious teenager and she pop up pregnant and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things that goes into just raising kids. When it just, this baby, this is a beautiful baby, and that's why I say, to me in general, I don't understand the mindset when it comes to having kids. I don't understand why people want to have them, because if you choose to have a kid, you understand the chances of your kid being born a genius is 1%. That's a low number of that shit, of that kid being born a genius. So it's like, I don't understand it. Maybe it's me, maybe it's somebody else. I would like you guys to join the discussion. I left the link in the to the chat, so it kind of make it interesting. But yeah, I think that, to me, overall, I want, to me, it's, I don't know, maybe my view on this topic is different, but I don't want kids, because I got enough problems as it is. And I think when you choose to have kids, it's a dangerous mindset to have. It's one of those things where it's not a guarantee the kid comes out normal. But it's one of those things. I'll be right back, guys. I got to step out. I got to step out, do something. I'm back, guys. After I thought I was waiting. I'm waiting on FedEx to deliver a package. But back to what I was making. Back to the point I was trying to make. Back to the point I was trying to make. Kids, man, it's a tricky thing, man. You know, it's one of those things where and guarantee that your kid come out normal. So I mean, it's it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee that these kids may come out normal. And I think, you know, it's like I'm bad, guys. Shit, I have to get my thought together. But like I think, you know, shit, I should wrote some of this stuff down. But I think to me, when I look at kids nowadays, I think also the expensive thing, like it's a baby nowadays. A baby is mad expensive. I think that, you know, you got diapers, you got fucking baby clothes. I mean, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of fucking things that comes into it. There's a lot of things that plays a big part into being a parent nowadays. Plus, if you choose to be a parent, I'll say plus if you choose to be a parent. Plus if you choose to be a parent, if you choose to be a parent, you know, you know, you know, the question is, my thing is, even with all that stuff, like to me in general, like do you have the patience to be a father? Like to me, I'm at the point in my life right now where I don't got time and patience to be dealing with the baby. I have a niece, but like I can deal with her because she's my niece, whatever. But like I don't have time and patience to be dealing with a baby, man. I don't got time and patience. I don't. I mean, some people say to be in parent hard, but some people say you gotta have time and patience. But I think to be a parent nowadays, you gotta have the time and patience because a lot of these kids are fucking bastards. A lot of these kids are bad as fuck. They hate you. And to me, I would hate to be one of those parents where I have a kid. I hate to be one of those parents where I have a kid, and you know, and the child end up hating me in the process. Like to me, fam, I don't know. I don't know about anybody else, but to me, I can't have it, dude. To me, I feel like having a kid at age is so you're taking a risk every time you do that type of shit. It's a dangerous game you're playing. You're playing a dangerous game, and I think what you end up really doing is you create a conflict that should not be there in the first place. I'm eating some, guys. I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break while I do this process as well. But the whole idea is that when you have a kid, man, it's not a guarantee that kid may come out normal, man. Like I said before, man, when you having a baby, it's so fucking unpredictable. When you're having a child, it's so unpredictable. Like I look at my situation for me, I was raised by two parents. My mom still living, dad's no longer here. But like I came out, you know, I had a not normal childhood, two parents, you know, lived in the house for 16 years, lived in the house for so many years. Went out to eat on every Friday. We did a lot of family things. It was me, my mom, my dad, my sister. I had three other brothers as well. We come up like, yeah, I had a family. I grew up in a family structure. But look at me. I had a lot of my mental problems. Who knows? I couldn't predict that. I couldn't predict me having a major depression. I couldn't predict me trying to commit suicide. I couldn't predict me going through special ed 4th and 12th grade and the school system fucking me over. I couldn't predict this shit. And plus, when you have kids nowadays, you can't predict how they're gonna look at school, you know, how they're gonna function in school. You can't predict that type of shit. What happens if a kid has Down syndrome? You know, like I keep mentioning before, like you don't know what you're getting yourself into when you choose to have a kid in this climate nowadays, because having kids nowadays is so fucking dangerous that you gotta understand you're engaging in the behavior that's, to me, people say consider as normal, but to me in general, it's not normal for me, because I often say there's so many people right now who, you know, they get caught up in this whole I gotta have a baby syndrome. I gotta have a kid. I gotta have an offspring. it's dangerous. And like I said, I'm go back to what you were saying, Renee. Having a kid is dangerous in this environment, especially with the entertainment industry and the state of sin. Yes, I agree 100%. I think that a lot of the times we get so caught up in this whole idea of, oh, I gotta have the next generation. And to me, dude, like my opinion is fuck the next generation, personally, dude. And it's really realistically, that's me being honest, and that's me being 100% honest with a critic. I don't care about this whole idea, you know, you know, this whole idea about having a kid, man. It's like, no, like, yo, like, and the thing is also talk about like a child hating you, like growing up having a kid hating you. Like, I would hate to be a parent. I raised this kid for 18 years, and this kid, best child, fucking hate me for so long, hate me for all these years. Who hates me for all this long? Who hates me, Holmes? Shit. Sorry about that, guys. Stupid fucking FedEx people. I'm waiting for FedEx damn package. Going back to what I was saying before. No, I think having a kid nowadays, like when you sitting there and you raise this kid for 18 years, especially if it's a girl, and she's sitting there, all the mother told this girl all the lies about you was never there and you was a sack of shit. Even though 9 times out of 10 she used child support, this she didn't want you in the kid life. All she wanted was child support, and the kid fucking hates you. Like, I would hate to be a parent where I spent all this time and money trying to raise this kid, and this kid end up fucked up in the process, end up going to jail, end up committing a crime, end up doing some shit that a person should not do. And like I said before, I mean, when you have a kid, it's so predictable. You can't predict what the kid is gonna be like in the next 18 years. You can't predict it because it's so damn predictable. Well, I think what they say, a kid personality develop. You know, a kid. You know, a kid person by the age of 5. I think it's a kid psychology. I think when you're doing this type of shit, what you end up doing is you engage in that type of stuff. You engage in an act where you don't know what you're getting yourself into. And I think a lot of the times we get so caught up in this. Oh, I gotta have the next generation as an offspring thing. I gotta have the next I gotta have the next generation. I gotta have an offspring. I gotta have the next generation to take care of people's legacy. I got what's the legacy thing. I gotta have a legacy after me. So when I die, I have a legacy after me. But guess what happened? What if what if your kids choose not to have kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, the reason why I choose not to have kids is because I got my own problems in the world. I got my own problems. I got my own problems and my own things in the world to deal with. And to me, the last thing I sincerely need is me having a kid in my life. Me having a kid at this point in my lifetime, where me having a kid in this time in this political climate nowadays is so damn tough. And plus, nowadays it's the family courts favor the woman nowadays. So the family courts favor the women nowadays. Family courts, divorce courts, everything is geared towards the woman nowadays. So to me, in general, why should me being the man myself, me being the guy that I am, why should I have to fucking engage into type of shit like that? Why should I have to engage into it? You know, and I think a lot of the times we get so caught up in this, mindset of, oh, I gotta have the next legacy thing. I gotta have an offspring of me. It's like, yo, fam, because even adopting kids can be fucking dangerous. But I say adopting, probably you could consider adopting. Maybe you could adopt a son. Maybe you could teach him whatever. But it's like, it's not a get. Fucking wrong with the computer. Um, yeah, but it's one of those things, man, where it's one of those things where you get into this open dialogue about kids, and there's a lot of people who choose. There's people who choose. And there's people who choose. There's people. What the hell's wrong with the computer? There's people who choose. There's people who literally choose to have kids, and if you choose to have a kid in this climate, if you choose to have a kid in this climate, if you choose to have a kid in the climate, what you gotta think whether is one, if it's a boy, how screwed that boy, how hard is it gonna be for a boy. If you got a girl, you gotta think about how you're gonna raise that girl. Are you gonna, raise her like modern day millennial women? Like, the question is, you don't rate the hardest part about having a kid is that predictable. This reason why I don't want no kid. It's the predictable thing. It's unpredictable. You don't know what your kid is going to be like when they become an adult, or when they become preteen, to a teenager, to a young adult, to an adult. You don't know what's going to be like. You don't know if they're gonna. You don't know if they take your feet. It's so many things that go into a system. There's so many things that go into this. That goes into the system. That, to me, is that the difference between being a man nowadays is so damn hard, because so many people, you know, you know, like so many people nowadays, man, so many people nowadays, it's just like they don't realize when you have a kid, man, it's unpredictable. You don't know what you're gonna predict. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know how this is gonna affect the kid long down the run. And I think a lot of times we get so caught up in this. Oh my God, I'm about to have a baby, and that's what's out. I see so many guys nowadays, married, engaged, whatever. They about to have a baby, and they act like them having a baby is just the end all be all of life. But guess what happened? What if that kid hates you? What if that kid grow up to be a bastard and goes to jail and be a degenerate fuck up? There's a lot of cases where you got a kid come from a 2-parent household, and the kid becomes a deranged murdering psychopath. He murdering people. He blowing people up. And you hear so many stories about some guys shoot up a damn movie theater and be like, oh, but his parents are rich though. Then I'm talking about with kids. You can't have, and this is what I'm talking about with society. This is why I don't understand people who try to understand why society and guys who get married and people just plan to choose to have kids. Why are you still having kids in this climate? Yes, I agree 100%. If our parents thought the way we did, maybe the world would not be here. Yes, my parents didn't fuck, and my parents technically didn't fuck to get where I needed to be. Me and my sister would not be here. So I'm not sitting here saying, having kids is a bad thing. No, like whatever. Like, no. I look at my mom. She's a mother. She loves me and my sister dearly. But I think when you talk about raising kids, man, you gotta understand, man, it's a fucking very different, dangerous type of culture you're getting yourself into, and what you end up really. Anybody there? Fucking thing. What up, Benjamin?
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
What's that? So, what's your thoughts on the topic, man?
Yeah, man, it's there's a lot of factors out there. I think it can be a real challenge to have kids, you know.
Yeah. So I mean, at one time, did you consider kids though? Like before you ever became MGTOW?
Mm, a little bit, but not much. I mean, I really wasn't hitting it. You know what I mean? So why would I be considering it? I mean, I wasn't really considering adopting either. So
Yeah. So like overall, like I mean, like do you think like I mean, because this is a good topic I want to talk about, because I think people need to really, this is a good topic that people need to talk about. I think when it comes to kids, man, like you said before, it's that unpredictable thing to me. Especially kids nowadays. Kids nowadays, they got everything. They got the technologies. Like I talk about, like you got a lot of pedophiles out there. Like the if you decide to have a daughter, like how the internet nowadays is so accessible, how these kids are able to just access the internet, and just like even if you put parental lock on that shit, they'll find ways to bypass all that. Like me as a parent, me as a person, I don't want to go through all that type of shit. That's too much fucking. That's a headache for me though, personally, man.
well, yeah, and I think in the earlier days they might have had a little bit more success of just keeping the kids a little bit sheltered away from the world because I mean, today they're open to so many things. I bet you the kids, the peers among each other, very quickly through the internet and everything, find ways to just shame each other and reasons and all these other things.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, and that's what I'm saying. Like these kids nowadays, like the internet is so accessible for everything else. You got all these streaming media, you got all these smartphones. Everything is so much of it's a climate. No kid is safe nowadays. Like nobody is safe nowadays. And I think when you raising a kid nowadays, especially in this climate, especially if you raising a boy, like I couldn't imagine having a son in this climate. You know why? Because I think that nowadays as men, as grown men, as men in America, no matter what race you are, we all got it bad, especially with the down syndrome laws and the president. All these bills that keep getting passed, all these laws keep getting passed, especially with Oklahoma adding domestic violence to the family courts. Like as a man in America, they are making it harder for you to be a father. So why would you want to have a kid in this climate, knowing damn well that the family courts can destroy you, and all she sit there basically that she go off the woman's word. Your life is ruined. You arrested for child support. The child support payments don't stop. You lose your job, and they expect you to pay that money even though you lost your job. Like, and this is what I'm talking about when you have kids, guys. You gotta also one thing. This is one of the biggest factors of if you choosing to have a kid or not. Are you willing to put up with child support system? If you miss one payment, you get locked up. Are you willing to deal with a system that's been fucked up for so many years? You know, Benjamin.
Yeah, man. That's real. That sounds like it weigh heavily on me for sure.
Yeah, I mean it does, and people don't realize when you sit there. Because I have friends who I have friends I know personally that have been locked up for child support, lost their job, and they say, yeah, man, you get locked up, you lose your job. Them payments don't stop, man. They expect you to keep those payments, and you don't spend those payments, you get locked up and you lose your job. And that's what I'm talking about these laws. That's what I'm talking about with this topic. Is that guys, when you sit when you choose, when you contemplating to have kids, it's two words that you really gotta fucking think about. Are you wanting to put up with this bullshit? It's child support. Those two words right there to me is stop me altogether from having kids, fam. Because to me, dude, and this may sound cynical in me, if I had a baby with a chick and I got locked up and I lost my damn job and the courts expect me to pay all that damn money back and I lost my damn job and I lost my job because I got locked up, guess what happened, fam? She gotta go, man. I'm not condoning killing people, man. But if you make my life a living hell, you gotta go, man. I'm sorry, man. That shit is that type of shit will ruin a motherfucker, ruin a motherfucker life, man. And I've seen too many dudes snap off in their crazy shit. And that's one of these stories about these dudes getting put on child support. And I don't condone violence and this stuff, but I think to myself, like, dude, if she went out her way, she went out her way for you to get locked up on child support, fam. You have every right to do what you need to do because my thing is, fam, she doing that's fucked up, man. Your life is getting ruined. I can see you committed a crime or you robbed the bank, whatever. Like you miss one child support payment and you get locked the fuck up, fam. Like you miss one payment and you get locked up. To me, fam, that shit ain't fair. And to me, I'm literally tired of society trying to tell men like, oh yeah, we need to put up with this bullshit. We need to put up with it and just, be man and man up and start, and start impregnating these bitches, bro. You can do that shit. I ain't doing that type of shit, bro. Fuck that shit.
What'd you think about the sperm bank option?
Hell no. Hell no.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I
I
would.
don't know.
I wouldn't. I mean, here's the thing, man. I mean, there's some guys who would do that, and I ain't knocking if you're doing it. But like, I did a stream with Benjamin. I think a couple streams ago called Pump and Dump, like Pump and Dump. I don't advocate that shit either. Like, dude, and that's what I'm talking about with kids. Even when you pumping and dumping in a chick, what happens when you fuck a chick? It's supposed to be like a one-time thing, and then the chick end up popping up pregnant. You gotta do it. It's 18 years of life. It's 18 years of life. You gotta deal with this bitch. Like, I ain't engaging in that type of shit, man. That shit dangerous to me, man.
Mm.
So, I mean, but and that's what I'm literally saying. Like, that's what I'm literally saying. Like, with this topic, it's like, yo, like it's like damn if you do, damn if you don't policy. I mean, there's some guys who donate sperm to Sperm Bank, but like, dude, like I'm not engaging in that type of shit. I don't want no kids. But at one time, when I was like younger, when I was like a teenager, when I was like 21, I wanted kids. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and be. I'm not act like I didn't want no kids. I did. But I feel like when you get to a point in your life and you start to realize how fucked the system is, I look at one of my brothers right now. He's in jail. I think he's doing 6 months in jail right now for like speeding tickets. And like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, that's fucked up. And I don't know how long, I don't know how far the mother of his daughter. I think he's about to have a daughter. It's a girl, and I don't know how far she is in knowing the pregnancy. But he's 6 months in jail right now. I don't know when he get out. But I was talking to him the other day. I was visiting him, and I was visiting him in the jail the other day, and he was sitting there. He literally crying to me, fam. Like he's sitting there. I mean, it's jail ticket. It's unpaid parking ticket. It's unpaid tickets. So I can kind of understand all that, but that's a long time to be sitting in jail, fam, for some unpaid unpaid tickets. But still, like the dude was crying in jail, fam. Like he says, I'm not gonna be there when when my daughter's born. And I'm like, I'm looking at this type of shit. Even though I'm feeling sorry for my brother, After I got done visiting him, I said, "Damn, I'm not in his position." Cause God damn it, dude, you about to have this is his fifth child. You about to have your fifth child with the mother of your child, and you locked up in jail, fam. And I'm pretty sure she's gonna put you on child support, fam. I'm sorry, man. That's a dangerous way to be looking at shit, bro.
Yeah, I wonder what's in these chicks' heads too that put these people like help put these people in these positions. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
and that's what I'm saying. Like to me, I hear these stories about these people put in jail. Like guys gotta understand to me, dude. When you pregnant, I mean, yeah, when you stick your dick in any chick, cause any chick can fucking literally fuck you over. But like, dude, to me, the reason why I don't advocate pumping up and I went full blown monk, I had sex 2 times and never went the fuck back, fam. And that second time I had sex and a piece of condom fell off. You can't tell me how many thoughts that came to my motherfucking head, thinking to myself, "Fuck, this chick pregnant. I gotta deal with this bitch." And it's like all because I wanted to get some damn pleasure out of that shit. I learned my lesson. I said I ain't never engaged in that type of shit. Went full blown monk, fam. Like that type of shit right there will scare you. But you know what pisses me off even more, Benjamin? Though there's dudes who will fuck a chick, a piece of condom falls off, or the chick may pop up pregnant, or she may not end up pregnant, and he may not catch nothing. He'll go right back out, fuck a chick with no protection, and the piece of condom fall off again. He'll do the same old reckless bullshit, reckless behavior that he was doing before. I'm like, fam. Like, how could you not learn from the type of stuff like that? To me, dude, I remember being in that clinic. I've told the story many times, being in that clinic for the first time in my life. I used to clown guys who used to go to the clinic and get tested. And then you being the main guy getting tested, going to that clinic, that shit will change your whole perspective on sex, saying, fam, I don't want no parts of this type of shit. And that's what I talk about when the guys were pumping dumping it, dude. Pump and dump, fuck that shit, man. Look, I know there's some MGTOWs out there who advocate having sex with prostitutes, but that shit dangerous too. Like, there's a lot of MGTOWs out there who advocate that type of shit. Me, I don't advocate, sticking dick in. I don't advocate you actually doing one night stands either, because that shit can be a fucking living nightmare. Like, I don't engage in that type of shit though. Yeah, but like, yeah, I mean, overall, like. I mean, like I said before, I want to end the stream on a good note. I mean, whatever, whatever, you know, overall, like, what up, like, overall, yeah, but basically, yeah, what up, guys? I don't remember in the stream, but guys, I'm about to end the stream. It's been fun. This is my third stream today. This is my third stream I've done today. I usually do two. I do two a week, but this is third stream. I might do a stream tomorrow. You guys can hold me on to it, but this your boy No Filter. Peace and love. I'm out.